Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk. It is Saturday, July 9, 2022. I'm Daniel Blake. Thank you so much for joining me. It is the World Champs preview show. As you know, the World Championships starts on July 15. That's next week, and it's good to be prepared. So, Sports Talk is going to help you to do that from 1 to 2 p.m. Sports Talk is brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self. Before I introduce my guests for this week, I just want to let you know that there are several ways that you can listen to the show. Like I keep telling you, you can do it your traditional way on your radio, 101.1 3579 on your FM band. You can download the Love 101 FM app in the Google Play or Apple Store. You can open your browser, love101.org, or you can go on YouTube and Facebook and you can see me live, and you can also see my guests live, and you see them name live already. But me soon introduce her nonetheless. By the way, you can also WhatsApp us 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. We're going to be talking about the World Championships. So tell me some of your predictions for some of the events, what events you are looking forward to, the athletes, whatever it is, just send them there. Or if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, you can leave your comments there. All right. So I did say I'm going to introduce my guest shortly, but I feel like I should do the sports bits first because it's just three. There's no Daniel log this week. I know a lot of you love to hear my views week in, week out, and I sincerely apologize. But I have two guests who can analyze track and field until 5 o'clock. That, trust me, they can do it. So let me just start off with the sports bits. Is just three. All right. So despite their heavy loss to the USA on Thursday, the Reggae Girls can still get an automatic qualifying spot to the 2023 World Cup by beating Haiti on Monday at 9 p.m. The girls and Haiti are tied on 3 points in Group A, but only a victory will do because Haiti has the better goal difference, which means they would only need a draw to advance. Since the last time we were here, Harbour View, they were crowned the champions of the Jamaica Premier League after beating Dunby Holden in the final 6-5 on penalties after a 1-all full and extra time match. It was Harbour View's fifth hold on the title, ending their 9-year drought. And finally, Edwin Allen Sprint stars Tina and Tia Clayton will reportedly be going pro next season and signing with the MVP Track Club to be coached by Stephen Francis. However, in an interview with the Observer on Friday, in typical Stephen Francis style, he said he can't confirm the news and same don't know where it come from, but he did urge the public to be patient with the young sprinters. So that's the sports bits for this week. All right, so as you know, we will be talking about the World Championships today. Let me introduce the lady first. Award-winning sports journalist, PAJ Sports Journalist of the Year 2020, track and field analyst, former national athlete. Is how much medal you win at Carifta again?
I don't remember. I really do not remember, but I've won a couple.
Won a couple.
Yeah. And CAC games,
All right, you're
champs.
just showing off right
I'm
now.
not showing off. I'm just saying.
No, that's okay. You don't need to be humble. Trishana McGowan, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Big up to the listeners of Love 101 FM.
Lovely. And then we have the world-renowned track and field commentator and analyst virtually, Donald Smith. Donald, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me again, Daniel. Good afternoon to your listeners. Good afternoon, Trish. Trish, I feel you're following me, This is our second time this week.
Yes. We follow each other. Yeah, we do follow each other.
All right, since we're following each other, let's start off with
wow.
the women's 100 meters. So
oh wow.
I think it's pretty safe to say that Jamaica should get that 1, 2, 3. The order is not so
of importance.
So starting with you, Trishana.
Mm-hmm.
That 1, 2, 3 confirmed, but who do you think is probably in the best position to be in
Wow.
that gold medal slot?
Um, best position. It's difficult to say. Um, but if and it why I say it's difficult to say, we're so blessed though. Let me start by saying that
Mm-hmm,
to be in a position to be talking about a 1, 2, 3 for a women again.
mm-hmm,
We're no stranger to 1, 2, 2 or 1, 2, 3. We've been making it a habit. We just might be heading down the chart of making history, Donald, with the amount of times that we're about to do it. With that said, for me, let me just throw a disclaimer out there. Once Jamaica is on the podium, whoever crosses the line first is no, it's not an issue for me. But with Sharika Jackson recent form, I think that it's safe to say she stands a very good chance of winning, but it will be difficult to beat a very informed Shelley and Fraser Price, as well as Elaine Thompson era. And I don't want people to forget, not because Elaine has changed club, it should take away from anything. Not because how she looked at national championships should take away from the spectacular sprinter that she is. She looked like that last year at the national championships, even though she's under different guidance. But if I'm to, it's like I said, it's difficult to say because all three women or pedigree running well. And I don't like to use only recent form because if we did that last year, Shelley and Fraser Price should have won at the Olympic Games and she was second. So it's tough, but I love how Shelley's looking. She's now running a complete event. Technically, I think she's the best sprinter there is as a woman right now. But if I'm to go to if I'm to say I'm going to choose a winner on the day, I would bank with Shelley, with her experience, and how she's looking. Her body is now accustomed to running 10-6. With Sharika, even though she's looking good, to put a complete sprint race together can be challenging. And I think she's getting used to that still. If Elaine can put everything together, no injuries, also will be tough. But like I said, I would go with Mommy Rocket because of her experience and her body being so accustomed to 10-6 at the moment.
Yeah, Donald, it's rare to have the reigning Olympic champion, the world champion, and the national champion all from the same country in the same race. Um, if you had to put your money on it, who do you think would get that gold?
Oh, that's a tough question. I'm in
It
agreement
is.
with Trishana. So several things I would consider. I know Trish kind of alluded to it. Sharika Jackson looks superb. We saw what she did at the national championships. I think she will get better as the season progresses. So I expect a new personal best from her at the end of the world championships, at a minimum. With that said, Elaine Thompson, here, the Olympic champion, as Trish mentioned, she never looked as comfortable and invincible in at trials last year, but she did the double at the Olympics in Tokyo. Will she do that here? We're not sure because the track record for her at World Championships is not a great one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Even and when you add into the mix the fact that she has changed coaches, for me personally, what I've observed with her is pretty much she running off muscle memory and what she would have built up over the years. I really don't see any major improvements since the change of coach. So it's really hard to say where she'll factor in terms of um, medal positioning. And then Shelly on Fraser Price, as Trish rightfully said, her body is now accustomed to running 10-6 like it's an ordinary run these days. So she definitely would be shoe in for me for the goal to defend her title. And I said that because Jackson, even though her races have gotten better at 100 meters, her start is still not the best. And I think Shelley has continued to improve her race, all phases of her race, and it's going to be tough for her to be beaten. But again, we can only give these judgments based on what we would have seen so far. Things can change. And we can't leave out Kemba Nelson. Kemba is going to be running on her home track. So that could also give her an advantage to sneak in for something. We don't know as yet, but I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. let's go to the women's 200 because we do have Elaine, Shelley, and Sharika. The one, two, three probably not as straightforward,
Yeah.
even though there's no Gabby Thomas or Mboma this year. But we've seen Abby Steiner, who did that 21.77 in almost a negative, I think it was negative wind. And Tamara Clark has also gone below the 22-second mark this season. Um, how do you see that 200 going, Donald?
So that should be an interesting one. I will put it down to say that the world leader in Sherika Jackson is shooing for the goal. No disrespect to Abby Steiner. I think that Abby has not really gotten a lot of big challenges, to be honest. And I think that the experience that Jackson has had, not only running the 100 meters and 200 meters, but the 400 meters and being able to run through rounds at major events is going to play a significant role, I think. And I think Sherika has the advantage going in. There's a name that we have not been really looking at, and it's the defending champion, and that is Dina Asher Smith of Great Britain. She has not really had a big season so far,
Mhm.
but she is the defending champion, and we more than likely would be reckless if we didn't really factor her to be a consideration. But as I said, she has not been having a strong season. I think she lost the 100 to Daryl Neater in their championships. So many question marks regarding her. But again, she is the defending champion in the 200 meters. So can't count her out. But Jackson for me should be your gold medalist.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And I think with that, I think that's where we will pick up or should pick up two medals. I don't see us walking away from the 200 meters if all athletes are to do their part and run through the line, remain injury free, and
And not look at the screen.
not look at the screen. Just do their part. I see us getting two medals. In the 200 meters. I think our women are in the best shape compared to the other women. No disrespect to the others. They're training hard, running well. But where our women are at the moment, specifically Sherika Jackson and Elaine Thompson era, going over the 200 meters, I think they stand a chance of walking away with two medals. I love Shelly, but the 200 meters with that kind of field can be a challenge for her. And we saw that last year at the Olympic Games. But it's like I said, it's just remarkable to see where the women are at in terms of the sprints.
Yeah, it's actually also very surprising that we actually reach a 115 break. And we've only gone like two events.
Yeah.
But we will come back with a whole lot more. We have the men's 100 to talk about, the 200, the hurdles events. We're going to talk about everything that we possibly can in the hour. So stay with us. Donald is still here. Trishana will still be here. So please join us right after the break.
Importers. Shipments requiring you to pay customs duties and taxes are cleared on a customs goods declaration, known as an IM4 or IMS4. Ask your clearing agent to provide your customs declaration, customs assessment notice, and customs receipt once duties and taxes are paid. Where your clearing agent may not be able to provide the IM4 or IMS4, request your customs goods declaration registration number or C number, which can be used to verify your payments. Importers, request your IM4, IMS4, or C number. It is your right. For details, email the Jamaica Customs Agency at public.relations@jca.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Jamaica! It's time to find our 2022 Gospel Star. Your votes will help decide the 2022 winner. Watch the show this and every Sunday, live streamed on the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission's Facebook and on YouTube JCDC Jamaica channel at 6 p.m. Remember now, vote for your favorite and watch the grand finale on Saturday, July 30th at 6 p.m. Let's lift up the praise and find our new Gospel Star. Sponsored by Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, and Shirley. You can watch this Sunday on Love 101 FM social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube, and listen live on Love 101, the family station.
NHF is here for you. Getting that discount on my daughter's medication is a relief. The NHF card makes it so affordable that she doesn't miss a dose. Whenever my parents visit a public hospital, I can fill their prescription at drug-serve pharmacies at no extra cost. Not to mention, renovating and building new health centers, hospital wards, and providing new medical equipment. The NHF is always helping to take care of my family. The NHF is here for health. The NHF is here for you.
This Sunday, the service from the St. Andrew Parish Church Halfway Tree, normally aired at 6 p.m., will be aired at 5 p.m. as we share with you the live broadcast of the JCDC Jamaica Gospel Star competition. The service from the St. Andrew Parish Church Halfway Tree will be aired at 5 p.m. this Sunday. A blessing is always here on the family station, Love 101.
Jamaica, it's time to find our 2022 Gospel Star. Your votes will help decide the 2022 winner. Watch the show this and every Sunday live streamed on the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission's Facebook and on YouTube JCDC Jamaica channel at 6 p.m. Remember now, vote for your favorite and watch the grand finale on Saturday, July 30th at 6 p.m. Let's lift up the praise and find our new Gospel Star. Sponsored by Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, and Shirley. You can watch this Sunday on Love 101 FM social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube and listen live on Love 101, the family station.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on Love 101, the family station. It is the World Champs preview show. I am here with two of the best analysts around, Trishana McGowan and Donald Smith. So last year, when we were talking about the men's 100, I think we were talking a bit more out of hope because we seem to be in that transition period. But then Johan Blake did what he did at the national trials. We've seen Oblique Seville and Akeem Blake throughout this season, but they will have some steady competition from Fred Curley and others. But do you see our men ending that drought, that medal, even though it's not a very long medal drought, but do you see us on that podium, Trish?
Donald,
All right.
lead the
All right, no problem. So if when you jump back to 2021, the 100 meters was an open event, meaning that anybody who told you that the Italian Lamont Jacobs would have won, I would tell you that they'd have been lying, because I never saw it. Probably his handlers would have, but I never saw that coming. So it was a very open event. I say that to say this, that in 2022, not much really has changed if you think about it. It's still somewhat of a very open event. There is no out and out athlete who you can pick and say, all right, definitely that person will be a gold medalist. Fred Curley is close. Trayvon Brummel, when it comes on to major championships, has flopped, even though he's been consistent outside of a major championships. But he's running at potentially his best venue, and that is Hayward Field Stadium. So you can't count him out. Then there is the defending champion Coleman, who has looked terrible this season. So not sure what he looked like. Marcel Jacobs, the Olympic champion himself, has pulled out of several races since getting food poisoning and some other injuries earlier this year. So it is very open, which means that for this year in 2022, the likelihood of a Jamaican being on the medal podium, I think, is greater than 85%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because if you look at it, we have Johan Blake, who has great experience in running the rounds. Many persons always count him out when it comes to major championships, and in the 100 meters, he somehow always finds himself there or thereabout in the finals.
Sure.
Once you get to the final, in my opinion, in this state of affairs where the 100 is concerned, you can get to the podium. Oblique Seville has had the experience of running at the highest level, which is the Olympics, and made a semi-final. I think he can go one better. and with his times fastly improving or greatly improving this year, definitely could also be on the podium. But it's an open event. So again, we can still hope, but it's a greater chance than last year, in my opinion, that we could see at least one medal.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that I'm impressed with the youngsters coming through. And I eliminate I want Yon to do well at this world championships. For him to make it's not just about the times, because Donald, by now I'm right there with Michael Johnson regarding the time. I've always been like that. But it's just how he's looking. And I
Mhm.
don't want to say like he's starting to look like him old self. No, he's looking more confident compared to the last couple of seasons that we have seen, and that's very important. People like to talk about times, and like I said, the times are good, but if your times come based on ideal conditions and the form and the rest of the field, an athlete really do not have control of the time, if we're being honest, because they can be in the best shape of their life and they're in an environment or a stadium where it doesn't result into that. So like I said, for me, I agree with Donald, where he's at in terms of his experience. Oblique Seville, no, a seasoned campaigner at a major championship. Akeem Blake is where the concern should lies. He has never been to a final before. He has run at the boys and girls championships, but he had never been in the atmosphere of demand for stepping up on a Friday night like we're accustomed to, and the other boys would have been accustomed to at the boys and girls championships. So this will be a new environment for him. What I can say, I've liked that Michael Freighter, Gregory Little, and the team have taken him to meets where it's bombarded with a lot of Jamaicans. So he's somewhat used to some amount of euphoria. So it will be interesting, but I agree with Donald that I think this year, compared to last, or since the departure of Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell, Nessa Carter, Michael Freighter, and others, this is our best chance of possibly getting on the podium.
Yeah. By the way, you guys can watch that interview with Akeem Blake Trishana. Go to her YouTube channel
Oh,
and watch that. I realized she was trying to plug it without actually plugging it.
no, 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 no. Did he really? I did not even. No, I
Like
did
she was
not
giving
even
us some
remember. No,
exclusive
I did
info that
not.
nobody else
You're
has.
so
So
silly.
you can go on YouTube, type in Shoshana and Akeem Blake, and
Yeah,
then you'll see that
you're
interview
shady,
there.
Daniel.
Yeah. But the I guess the men's 200, we are a little,
I'm hopeless.
yeah,
But
because
Yeah.
Hudson, who is our national champion, who isn't Jamaican as yet. So
will
he,
not be until mountain, so you will be
yeah,
missing it.
so he'll be missing. We have Johan Blake, who hasn't run a lot of 200-meter events over the last few years, even though he's always run it at trials and has always made it. Rashid Dwyer is there, and then Akeem Bloomfield, who didn't make the 400 because he had the required time. He made the 200, but I think the 200 field is far more stacked. I don't think it's as an open event
Like
like
the
you did in
100.
the
I
100.
think with Noah Lyles and them, I think Donald will agree. I think, like you said, Daniel, that field, Knighton, the field is a lot stronger over the 200 meters distance. And I will say this, I love the work done by our coaches and our athletes. Let me throw that out there. But for me, I was really hoping that Johan would say, I'm going to focus on the 100 meters,
Hmm.
but he will run the 200 meters on the circuit. I think where he's at right now in his career, 33 years old, or turning 33 in December, coming from those injuries, I don't think he should be looking to try and convert 5 rounds of competition at this
Hmm.
point. He would miss out on anything. The relays are there, and I think that again they need a medal. They have been in a drought for that as well.
Mhm.
So if he could focus on the 3 rounds of the 100 meters, or the 2 rounds, hoping he would have gotten to the final of the 100 meters, then now run the heats and the finals of the sprint relays. I would love that, giving us, like I said, and himself also another sure chance of being on the podium. But who am I? I'm not a coach. I'm just saying what I would hope for. But the 200 meters, Akeem Bloomfield, I know it is. He prefers the event. I love him over 400 meters, but don't mind me. But again, I don't know if Donald will agree. I think the 200 meters, even though other than Noah Lyles, Joseph, and some of the Americans, it's not that open. So it's very open, I should say, in terms of who can come through and being on the podium.
Yeah, definitely, Trisha. I think if I saw a question going around on Twitter by overseas track and field analysts, hinting or asking which event they believe that the Americans will sweep. I think the 200 meters is for men is one event that they very well might sweep with Lyles, Benarek, and young Arian Knighton. I think those three have been doing well. The potential one athlete that could have gotten in the mix. Two, DeGrasse, he has not looked good all season,
No,
and I'm worried about him. And as well as the Trinidadian, Jareem,
Richard. Yeah.
Richard. So I don't know. He won his national trials. I think he ran sub 20 there as well. So he could be in, but could be an American sweep. Oh, and then there's a Cuban who is switching his allegiance, ran 19.6 just last week.
Last week, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, if he were there, maybe we could say that
So
a
it's
clean
it's
sweep is
wide
not a
open.
given.
It's
Yeah,
wide open. It's a wide open field, other than the Americans that we.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So the men's sprints, it's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Up for grabs. So the women will again um run the world championships like they did the Olympic Games. I love to see it. The 400-meter hurdles, the same thing. The sprint hurdles, but it's your show. Do you think, Daniel? I'm just throwing it out there that
Hey, Daniel, just relax and look cool.
yes, he is. I'm just
Yeah.
all I'm saying is Daniel, the women. You can't just talk about the women and then leave the men for about 150.
Yeah, we could. Uh, we seriously could. Speaking of the women, let's go
Mhm.
into the sprint hurdles.
Yeah.
Brittany Anderson, Megan Tapper, Daniel Williams, or three representatives. I think Brittany would be our most likely to get um, gold.
Oh.
Well, in my eyes, but then there's a lot of competition this year with
Mm-hmm.
Kamacha Quinn, Amusan, Kendra Harrison, even Alicia Johnson, who went almost went, I think 12. She went
She
sub
went sub.
12.4.
Mm-hmm.
In the negative 1.4 wind, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you see us stacking up against
Oh
that
wow.
field?
I wish while I said the women will be running things at the World Championships, you could have left out the sprint hurdles for Trishana. The thing is, it's so hard to gamble the sprint hurdles. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, remember when Kendra Harrison ran the world record that year and she went to her national trials and she didn't make the team
Yeah, I think she ran the record after.
after.
Yeah.
And listen, what I will say though, what I'm happy about, it's that it's not from any one country. I'm a huge fan of Omusan of Nigeria, like a huge fan. Coached by a Jamaican as well, Lasina Golden Clark, former national hurdler, Olympian as well. So I love the field overall, and I think that it again argues well for the women's level of competition and everyone having to lift their performance. Nia Ali is the defending champion, and I'm telling you, people oftentimes dismiss her, and then there she comes, sneak in, get to a final, and she's a champion. So it will be difficult for our Jamaicans, and again, they will have to be at their best. Megan Tapper cannot be discredited for how good she has looked in the latter part of this season and coming into our national championships. I think she has looked more spectacular this season in the latter part than she did last year when she won at her national championships and got bronze. Brittany Anderson, though, is a real fierce competitor. I know she wants to do well. She wants to redeem what she would have done last year and go better based on her performance this year. But again, like I said, it's the sprint hurdles. One mistake and it can cost you. Daniel Williams won back in 2016. Was it 2016, Daniel? That the
2015.
real 2015
Yeah.
when no one expected it. No one expected her to have gotten that world championship medal. So again, Daniel, I want one of our women on the podium. I do have us on the podium. I'm not sure which one it will be. While we can say based on form don't count if you don't show up and do the job in the
Mhm.
sprint hurdles. That's how crucial it is. You lose concentration for 5 seconds and it costs you.
I think the sprint hurdles is the only event where you can't say all things being equal because
No.
nothing is ever
Yeah.
equal in, in the hurdles.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Donald?
Yeah, definitely in agreement with you both. It's just one of those events that you have to get over the barriers. But if we were to say, for example, all things were equal, and
Hypothetically.
yeah, and all athletes would have gotten over all 10 flights of hurdles, then at a minimum we should have a medal there. Brittany Anderson, I think she has continued to improve this year. Was in the finals last year. I think she was seventh in the Olympic final. So she, based on foot speed alone and hurdle technique, is our best bet. Danielle Williams can't count out a champion. She has been there before, but I just don't see her getting in the top three. And of course, Megan Tupper. This is a young lady that I really admire because, when everybody tends to counter out, she just finds something extra and surprises. And she is, of course, the Olympic bronze medalist from last year, so can't counter out as well. But at a minimum, I think we should be able to get at least one medal in that event.
Yeah. Remember, for the listeners and the viewers on YouTube, you can leave your thoughts. If you want to do it on WhatsApp, 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Or you can put it in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook, and I will read it live on air. Tell us your predictions, your thoughts, what you're looking forward to, everything regarding the World Championships. Speaking of the sprint hurdles, last year going into the Olympics, I don't think many people would have bet on Hansel Parchment to have won gold.
Hmm.
Now, this season, he has looked spectacular. And now he's going up against the world leader in Devon Allen, and they're still Grant Holloway. But seeing how things are, would you now put that bet on Hansel becoming world champion?
I would put my bet on him getting to the final, and hopefully he will take care of the rest. You have to, if you're not in a final, you cannot. Jamaican scientific, not you, Daniel. You know the stuff.
I have the
I'm just
percent.
saying Jamaicans on a whole tend to jump to medals. It's a championship. If you're not at your best, if you knock a hurdle in the sprint hurdles, if you lose concentration, so many things. But with that said, I fancy him to be on the podium. Grant Holloway almost had that race won last year. Hansel was the better man on the day. And I think that if he can repeat what he did last year and better, he should become champion again, back to back champion, Olympics and the World Championships. And I would love that for him. I would love that for him. He has battled a number of injuries, and to see him having such a good season, I think this is one of his better season, Donald, in terms
Yeah.
of the number of competitions that he have had since the start of the track and field season. So overall, I think it would do good for him if he could walk away on top of the podium. But I think he wants to be healthy and get to the final, and then everything else will fall into place.
Certainly, Trisha and Daniel, I think what is different in terms of what I would have observed with Hansel, apart from him being healthier, coming through the full season so far, is that his race has improved as well in terms of his start, how he hurdles, and just being upright, getting over the hurdles, staying low as best as he can. Um, I think he has improved significantly there, and he has been consistent.
Yeah,
And many persons may, as you said earlier, Trish, go back to the times. You forget about times at major championships. We have seen Devon Allen. He almost missed out on making the American team, albeit he had death in his family. His dad actually died the day
yeah,
before the finals of that race, so that could have impacted him. But he has gone under 13 seconds, Allen. But it shows that this particular event, you could be the favorite today, and then tomorrow is a new face, a new star has been born.
yeah. You show
You know?
make one error
Exactly, and
and it
that could be
costs
it
you
for you.
everything. Yeah,
And so I'm hopeful that we can at least get two athletes in the final, and from there anything can happen. I see persons saying that the Americans have this one locked, and I'm like, which track and field have you guys been watching this season? But it should be a good encounter, Americans versus the Jamaicans.
fans tend to get ahead of themselves. Emotions
Yeah.
does that. Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be interesting though.
Yeah, let's stick with the hurdles. The women's 400
The
hurdles.
best event.
I don't think
Ha, ha, ha,
I don't
ha.
think
It
anyone
is. It is.
should. How much medals you say you win again?
I don't remember, but I have a few throughout my junior career. Why?
I was just wondering why it was your favorite event, but
It's
then
not my favorite. I said it's the best event in track and field.
so what is your favorite event?
Oh, well, yeah. 4 hurdles. And 5,000. Yeah, but continue.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, the middle distances.
That
It's
means that
like,
you can go to Kenya. You should go to Kenya and experience a long
yeah,
distance
like
race.
how do they go from I'm not, well, on the international stage you do not jog. Jamaicans jog and then sprint the last
Come
600.
on, them
No, they're
sprint from
properly
start to
paced,
finish.
exactly,
Yeah.
and they go into a full-on sprint the last 800, 600 meters to
Mhm.
get these records and big performances. So it's always amazing to me to watch that. But again, your show.
Daniel, you did say we could stay here until 5 o'clock and still not be finished.
And him not touch on the field events yet,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
So I think we all can agree that Sydney McLaughlin is going to win gold.
Yeah. I do have her
Where
for gold. Unless only way she's to not get gold, one of two things can stop her from getting gold.
God
And
forbid.
that's dropping over if she's to fall and like be like the others are close to her, and or she comes close with Dalila Muhammad.
so what happened to Femke Bowl? You don't see
I
her.
don't see her. I don't see her beating Sydney McClocking, but I see her challenging up to at least hurdle number 8.
Also, you're saying Dalila has a better chance of beating Sydney
Yes, I
than.
do.
Okay.
All being if she's healthy, because if she isn't, then but right now I think the form that Sydney is in. Listen, you have to finish that last 100 meters in at least 14 seconds or 13.
Well, the reason I'm not counting out Dalila, but I was saying she's only run 2 events this year because she is the defending champion. She
Mhm.
got that by. Obvious, not ruling her out,
It's
but
the 4 hurdles. If she's training well and she's not injured, that 52 is in her. It's like Shelly running 10.6. Her body knows how to react to get the time. It's just a matter of athletes tapping into that zone to get to the results that they want. And like I said, with the 400 hurdles, the beauty of it is that the difference with that and the sprint hurdles, while you need to be fully need to be concentrating. Sorry, you have rhythm and pace between the hurdles. So like I said, for me, where Sydney is concerned, not that she won't be challenged. I think the field is quality. Just that right now where she's at, she has lifted the game of that running consistently, 52 and 51 seconds. Her flat 400 meters, she's a beast going 400 meters. If she's to step down and run the women's 400 meters, Shauna Miller Weibo and others will have worry. So I just think where she's at right now as an individual talent, she's above the rest of the field and they're playing catch up. So in order for her to lose, she would have to drop at hurdle number 7 with them close to her
and not recover.
and not recover. Or be okay, like you said, Fenme Ball, I'm not discrediting any athlete. She could be right there with her as well as Dalila Muhammad. But I just see her being unbothered.
Yeah, I was. I think I was going along the line of saying that possibly Johnny Russell or Cheyenne Salmon could probably sneak in there for a bronze, but maybe I was being a little too hopeful there, Donald. What about you?
Yeah. So the thing, this is the thing. 2 things to observe. So one, while Dalila Mohammed has not run, sorry, as much this season, we can look at her training partner, who is our very own Anjanette Knight, to somewhat gauge where she potentially may be in her training. Knight has gone 53.3 this season, and I think had she not fallen at the national trials, would have surpassed that time, which one could reasonably argue that Mohammed is at least in 53.1, 52.9 shape. And then coming into the championships, anything can play. She would have that experience, and as such, should be in for a medal. I think it's going to be very difficult to get into that top 3 with McLaughlin, Ball, and Mohammed. I think McLaughlin is in a world by herself at the moment. I think she's she's in my, what I think she may end up doing is putting the 400-meter hurdles record to sub 51 seconds and then quit the event and do the flat four. Or even the sprint hurdles, because she has a 12.6 PB there as well. So anything is possible. Femke Ball, very good over the hurdles, very good at flat 400 as well. So she's very quick without hurdles. But I don't think she'll have the energy and the
sprint
the
finesse.
quality, to get by
Because that's something I think people forget regarding the 400-meter hurdles, which is what makes Christian Warholm of Norway so good. Every athlete is tired. Once you run 400, Stephen Francis says if you run 400 meters fast or slow, you're going to be tired. So if you're running 40, a woman running 49 seconds, one running 56, she's going to be tired. But in the sprint hurdles, where it gets really crucial, you're coming off the last 100 meters. So you hit hurdle number 7 to 10 at that stretch. Let me tell you, they no longer look very low, like you can just walk over them. They're yay high. It's like Mount Everest. So it's really sheer momentum that carries you home. With Sydney McClocking, she's like I said, she's so good that she goes into a full-on sprint, finishing almost in 14 seconds like a flat 400 meters. That makes her pretty spectacular. But like I said, track and field and sport can be, it's not unpredictable, but can be in some sense.
Yeah, and quickly as well, I think for the Jamaicans in that race, no disrespect to our athletes who will be representing us. I think they could probably be working to get at least personal best, in that race if they get to the final, which I'm expecting at least 2 of them to get there.
Yeah, I think one of the things to Donald regarding the 400 hurdles, it's similar to the men's 400 meters, which I have a pet peeve about and slight annoyance. It's not, our men are not able to run sub 45 consistently. And that's a problem for me because the rest of the world can just wake up and run, okay, recovered from injury. Let me step into a 400 meters that I've not run in 3 weeks. And they're running 44, 43 seconds, 44, 44.5, 44.7. And I have an issue with that. And where the men are concerned with the 400 meters. But for the 4 hurdles, I think, like I said, where our women are, they're running well. And that's the thing. I can't believe we're saying this, Donald. They're running extremely well. 53 seconds usually was a big thing.
Very big
they're
thing.
playing catch up because Sydney has lifted the game. Christian Warholm 45 seconds in the men's 400 meter hurdles. He has lifted the game. So it's not that you're not even good. Our women and men, Jahil Hyde and them, they're really good. They're doing very well. Just that they're playing catch up, like when Usain had the world catching up. 9.58. Our women right now running 10 4s, 10.6. Oh, they're asleep. The world playing catch up to our women.
Yeah.
Speaking of catch up, we have to catch up with some ads. But when we come back in our final segment, we're going to try getting some events because it's enough. so please stay with us. We take a very short break and we'll be back with Donald and Trish.
Celebration Church presents our anniversary event with Kevin Townswell. Sunday, July 10th, 2022 at 5 p.m. at Celebration Church, Lot 1E Portmore Skating Rink behind Portmore Mall, St. Catherine. Bask in the anointing with one of the Caribbean's leading worship ministers. Experience the healing and miracle touch of God. Tickets $1,900 pre-sold, $2,500 at the gate. Get yours now at York Pharmacy Halfway Tree, Genus Pharmacy Portmore, and Lane Pharmacy Mona. Call us at 876-467-1527 for more information.
Big up, respect, gratitude is a must. How many ways can the Digicel Foundation say thank you to everyone who has been building Jamaica together to invest in over 1,466 projects? We have seen you transform communities across Jamaica, building a more inclusive, accessible, and sustainable Jamaica for all. Be a part of the change and apply for your community grant today. Building Jamaica together. Visit DigicelJamaicaFoundation.org to learn how.
Your taxes hold the key.
Property owners, property taxes for year 2022-2023 are due. Payments can be made in full, half-yearly or quarterly installments. So many ways to pay. You choose. Online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the TAJ mobile app, mobile tax collection unit, and NCB online banking. Call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357 or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details.
The Jamaica Agricultural Society, in association with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, present
the Denby Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show
from July 30 to August 1
at the Denby Showground, Maypen, Clarendon. Gates open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily.
Admission $1,200 for adults, $600 for children. Jamaicans, grow smart, eat smart. Come celebrate Jamaica 60 at Denby 2022.
Keep fully connected with Flow Fiber Fast Internet at home and on the road with LTE data and calls for a fast, reliable experience anywhere. Over 500 communities have been upgraded since 2020, making more of Jamaica Flow Fiber Fast. And with Yard and Road, get Flow Fiber Faster Yard and LTE Road for as low as $3,999 plus GCT. Visit discoverflow.co to get connected on Jamaica's largest network. Conditions apply.
On Sunday, July 10, Love 101 will present live and delayed broadcasts from the 97th Annual Convention of the New Testament Church of God under the theme Forward Together with Discipline, Courage, and Hope. The convention begins on Friday, July 8 and continues through to Sunday, July 10. Reverend Dr. Donald Roberts is the speaker for the 9 a.m. service on Sunday, July 10, and Love 101 will carry this service live on our social media platforms, Facebook, and YouTube. Then listen at 11 a.m. for the recording of the service on radio. That's the 97th Annual Convention of the New Testament Church of God. Listen for coverage on Sunday, July 10, right here on the family station, Love 101.
Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Importers. Shipments requiring you to pay customs duties and taxes are cleared on a customs goods declaration known as an IM4 or IMS4. Ask your clearing agent to provide your customs declaration, customs assessment notice, and customs receipt once duties and taxes are paid. Where your clearing agent may not be able to provide the IM4 or IMS4, request your customs goods declaration registration number or C number, which can be used to verify your payments. Importers, request your IM4, IMS4, or C number. It is your right. For details, email the Jamaica Customs Agency at public.relations@jca.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Less than 12 minutes to go here on Love 101. It is Sports Talk. It is the World Championships preview. I'm still with Trishana McGowan and Donald Smith. Let me just read some of these comments quickly. Sebastian Hendricks says, you are the most decorated sports analyst for him. So you might want...
Wow, thank you. What a compliment.
Yeah.
When the men give the compliment, anybody for that matter, I'm really appreciative because the men grade very hard, you know.
All right, or let me read them thing. Jennifer sent this to the wrong show. Arabella says, loving the program so far. I well planned the program every week. Big up to Pauline. Cheyenne Atkinson, she says, I think Hansel Parchment, I think that's what she means. Chances are good. I see first or second for him in the final. It's going to be tough. And she also sees a 1-2-3 in the women's 100. All right.
So we're all on the same page.
I think so. It's hard to not be on the same page. Let's go to the women's 400. And I was still not reaching field events yet, you know. So the women's 400, it's in my eyes, the strongest 400-meter contingent that we've ever sent. Candice McLeod, Stephanie Ann McPherson, and Cherokee Young.
Strongest? No, man, we have had stronger.
Than these three?
Yeah, man. With Sharika Williams and them.
These are all sub 50 athletes, you know. That's why just off time.
Yeah, but when you look at the field overall, like we said, some people playing catch up. But my quick take on it, so that we get to other events. Okay. This is where I have asterisk for a possible medal for the women. I see us getting to the final, but getting on the podium will require some work. But I think that we have at least of the three. What I love of the three, all three can get to the final, or at least two of the three can get to the final. That's all I'll say.
All right, Donald.
Yeah, man, in agreement. I think though it is a greater chance of us getting that bronze this time around,
Mm.
as opposed to last year when Alison Felix would have got in for that bronze in the Olympic final. Shawnee Miller-Weber has not won the World Championships before,
No.
so I think she will have that burden on her shoulders. But I think that she should still win ahead of Marlady Paulino of the Dominican Republic, who was a silver medalist last year at the Olympics. I think those two spots are somewhat taken, but that bronze medal position is still up for grabs, in my opinion. The Americans have not been clinical, which is seen by what potentially their lineup for their 4x4 will look like, which may not include any 400 specialist. So that bronze medal spot is open. Shade Williams of Barbados, she has done a lot since the latter part of last season, and I think she will be in the final as well. But I don't want to call any names on the Jamaican contingent, but there's one particular Jamaican who I think, if there's a great possibility of that medal, it would be coming from her.
Hmm.
I'll leave it like that.
It's good to have a little mystery. The men's 400, not as bright, but I am going to say that if you want to watch my interview with Javon Powell again, you can. It's on YouTube and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So Javon Powell, Christopher Taylor, and Nathan Allen are reps in the 400. What do you think about our chances in the relays? Because Javon said that he thinks that if all of them can get that 43 split, there's a possibility that they can beat the US team to gold in that 4x4. So why you laughing?
No,
The man
no,
mustn't be
hold on,
confident.
hold on. Sorry, I didn't. No,
Was
I
this
didn't say.
interview outside of a bar by any chance, or?
No, no.
Anyhow, joke aside, because we really the time is limited, right? Let me say this: what I want is for Christopher Taylor and the crew to possibly walk away with some season's best performances and the personal best. But for them coming together on the relay, I think that's where the 400 meters men stand a very good chance of possibly being on the podium. I don't see a gold, but they can get on the podium for a silver or a bronze. Trinidad and Tobago team is a very strong team, and let's not discredit them. So is the United States. The men, like I said, for Jamaica, they continue to, like I said, struggle with breaking consistently and effortlessly 45 seconds or even 44. Just that it's different when the baton is in your hand. But to put a quartet out there to get that and get a win against a US, it would mean you have to beat Trinidad and Tobago. I just want them on the podium, and I think that they're capable. I have them for a medal in the 4x4, just the same as the mixed relays.
All right. So the field events, which we can't break down because we have less than 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of our field athletes this year have gone through a lot of things in terms of injuries, among other issues. For example, Frederick Dakers, who in 2019 we were hoping that by the Olympics and this year he would be a gold medalist. But things haven't worked out. He will compete, but we don't know what kind of shape he's in. I assume our best chances for medals in the field events would come from Shanika Ricketts in the triple jump, Daniel Thomas Dodd in the women's shot put. Uh, I would never rule out Tajay Gale in the long jump, Lamar Distin in the high jump, but just your thoughts on our chances in the field events, if you think we have like a major chance of
Donald, you
winning
can go
medals.
first.
I mean, you pretty much touched on the three potential
Medalist.
medal hopes for the field events. I think let's start with the women's high jump. I love what I've seen with Lamar Distin all season. Yeah, she didn't have the best of national championships, but it doesn't discount what she would have achieved with the national indoor and outdoor records. So I do expect that if she can get a rhythm going, that she'll be in the top 8 and potentially challenge for a medal in that final. Because to me, once things start to get closer to the end of the event, mistakes are easy to be made, and as such, if you're focused, you can potentially sneak in for a medal. For the women's triple jump, Shanika Ricketts, sixth best jump this year overall. But I think that she'll get it together for the championships to secure a medal. We can't, to be honest, Kimberly Williams, she has represented well. She didn't have the best of series at the national championships. Had a lot of problems with her run-up. I think if she can correct that and get close to her personal best, 14.6, I believe, she will be able to at least potentially knock on the door of the medal podium. I mean, she has twice been fourth or thereabout at the World Championship. So maybe it is time for her to really break down that door and hopefully do something. Daniel Thomas Dodd, best hope in the throwing event. I think if she's consistent as she was in 2019, she should be on the podium as well. She's in the top 7 ladies this year in that competition, so any number can play. I need her though to get over 19 meters. Consistently. Tajay Gale, I'm worried. I don't think he'll medal. I'd be surprised if he makes the final. Not sure what type of shape he's in. And to be honest, I am not a coach, but I would have hoped that his handlers would have made a decision in his favor to really address that long-term injury that he has. Given how track and field is, we're going to have back-to-back championships right to 2024. So we should have potentially have him sit out this year and just fix what needs to be fixed and have him back in shape for the next time around.
Yeah, I think for the field events, I agree with the sentiments echoed by both you gentlemen. I'm looking to see the shape that Tajay is in going into the championships. I'm gonna tell you why. Like you said, he has not looked the best so far this season, but I've been to 2 of his training sessions specifically, and listened to a couple of the conversations between him and Stephen. I won't echo or say anything what was mentioned there.
Before we continue, that's post national championships.
Pre national championships, yeah. And I think he suffered from a number of injuries as well this season, and he wanted to have tried hands at the 100 meters sprints, which did not work out so well. Hopefully, like you said, the injury I think has set him back, and I'm not sure if it will continue into the championships. If it doesn't, and he can get that run up, he just might find luck again getting to the final. Might not get him on the podium or a gold medal, but it should that luck just might get him to a final. I have Shanika on the podium for the triple jump as well. And Daniel Thomas Dodd, hopefully, like you said, she's in the top 7, and the series just needs to be good. And that's the thing about field events, everybody. One good throw, one good jump, bang, you're on the you're on the podium.
All right, less than 30 seconds. The event that you are looking forward to the most at World Champ, starting with you, Donald.
That's easy for me.
Let me do 2. The 800 meter submen, particularly because I want to see if Navasky can improve the national record some more. He may not get to the final, but I'm just looking forward to that particular bit of race. The men's 100 meters for sure, to see if our hopes can be realized in us getting on the podium. And then the 400 meter hurdles for women, to see if Sydney McLaughlin can put that record beyond anybody's talents going forward.
Yeah. The 400 meter hurdles women, I am eagerly anticipating that. I cannot wait to see what will be the outcome of it. And the women 100 meters, I want to see the times that will be. I don't care who win. It's the times. I'm fascinated to see the time that will be ran, because the track is so fast.
Yeah, for me, it's the
10-4-8. 10-4-8.
Don't get me excited. Yeah,
I'm hope. Well, I think Sharika is going to break the record in the 200, but that's just me being very hopeful.
And she's capable of.
Yeah,
she's very capable of. She's very capable of that. And the 100 record is capable of going as well. Our women are just phenomenal and in the prime of their life at the moment, and we're witnessing.
Speaking of phenomenal women, thank you, Trishana, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Donald,
thank you so much.
Donald, thank you as always. And hopefully,
thank you for having me, Daniel.
At the end of the championships, we'll talk again.
Safe travels, Donald.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, Sports Talk was brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self. Remember, I do this every week, Saturdays 1 to 2 p.m. So join us next week and please enjoy the World Championships. And we'll be talking about it right here on Sports Talk when it happens. Stay safe and enjoy your weekend.